He said, where will we get this money? It is not cheap to plan, conferences like this. And I told Bonaventure, said, look, Bonaventure, don't worry. We're going to get the money. Let's just do our paperwork. We came back, and what it's going to take us to do that particular conference was into the tune of about over 600,000 naira. And as at then, I checked my bank account. Everything I had, in my savings as a student then was just roughly about 240,000 naira. And I said to myself, like, how would we do it? Yeah. So the beautiful thing about, and I like this reaction that I got. The beautiful thing about this is we are so used, to a story being from grass to grace. But do you know that a story doesn't have to be from grass to grace before it can be celebrated? Or before it can be shared and then it is sweet, to your hearing? Do you get? So, there are some people that in their life, they are quite privileged. And that is why, somebody like me, as a student would have a savings of about 240,000. I know that you are looking at it now that, student and see, how much is in my account? And this is talking about, several years, ago. Do you get? So, but it also brings me to that, a lot of us today, we are the Whiskey FC. Do we have them here? We are the team 30BG, Davido. We have them here, Abi. There are some people that would not like Davido today. Why? Just because of the fact that they feel the reason they would choose Whiskey over Davido is just because of the fact that they feel that Davido, was privileged. Do you get? And then they be like, Whiskey, but when NG go, man, that would you elect back to rule Larry. No. But have you forgotten? Look, the wealth that you're actually, privileged to enjoy or to have while growing up doesn't necessarily have anything to do with where you are going. You celebrate Davido today, David Adeleke. But, is it only David that is singing in the Adeleke dynasty? Are they not also rich? So, I know some of us don't get it. But don't worry, when you get home, you get it better. So, and I said, look, Bonaventure, we're going to do this. And with just 240, I told him that we're not going to write to anybody for sponsorship because, who sponsors you in the, that is too short. The time is too short, just 2 weeks. And we started. The day of the conference came. The conference was highly successful. We had everything we ought to have. Then the next question is, how did you now get the money? If you did not write to anybody for any sponsorship and everything, is we only spent 240,000 naira. Every other thing was, financed based on relationship. And that is why I've come to tell you that there's also a level of, currency called relationship. Now, where everybody were sweating, there were people that said, Seun, we understand this vision. We've always known you to be quite visionary. This thing that I'm going to offer you, normally I charge 80,000 naira for this service. Seun, don't worry, I will do it for you for free. So that is how we got, 80,000 naira value based on relationship. There's somebody else that will say that, okay, you know what? This decoration that you want to do and all, just give me the money for plywood, tie rod and everything. Don't worry for the service charge. I will do it for free. So where we're meant to pay 50,000 naira, we ended up giving them maybe 7.5 to buy, tie rod and blah, blah, blah to do, their work. So that's why in everything that you do, you cannot afford to come to conferences like this and then go back home the same way. Without having, if it is your notepad you use, to get people's contact, to establish relationship, it should be full. But unfortunately today, a lot of us are always just so, as long as you are putting on a very fine clothes, you have a smartphone, you are doing video, and you don't even care. There are some of us here that you don't even know the name of the person seated beside you. It is wrong. Okay, now, so somebody seated beautifully beside you, you don't even want to know the name of the person, only for you to get home. And then you turn your TV on to channels or to Arise. And then you see that this person, you came to a finance conference. or a finance summit, and this person that was seated next to you is, the one holding the key to the next door that you want to open. But this person was seated quietly beside you. You didn't even bother to ask, what is your name? Talk less of, taking the person's, contact. So don't be too full of yourself. Meet people. I tell people, a lot of people say everything rises and falls on leadership. But I tell them that everything rises and falls on relationship. Because leadership is a form of relationship. I was in a conference or in a setting like this, sometimes, in 2016 at Ekpe in Lagos. And, I was invited as a special guest. So most of the people that were seated around me were HNIs and all. So I got in there, late. You can tell, Lagos traffic. And by the time I didn't want to disturb anybody. But during the time for the breakout, session, the gentleman that was seated, beside me, I just, beckoned up to him and said, "Hello, sir. How you doing, sir? I would like to meet you. My name is Seun Fakorede." And the, gentleman, of course, older, looked at me and said, "Oh, my name is so, and all like that." And then he asked me, said, "So, Seun, what do you do?" And under like 40 or 45 seconds, I was able to sell myself to him. And the next thing he said was that, "Wow, it's been a very long time I see young people that are actually very goal-driven and impact-driven like you are." And then he brought out his card. He gave me his card. When I saw his card, I was like, "Whoa, wow, this is big." And the next thing he asked me, that, "Oh, Seun, can I have your own card?" And I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, I don't have, my card, here." And he beckoned to his PA to say, "Give me my notepad and my pen." And that one brought the notepad and the pen, and he passed it to me. He said, "Seun, please write down your details here. Let us connect better." When I held his pen, there's pen, there's biro. When I held the pen, naturally, I have a very fine handwriting. But if I did not compose myself, that pen would disgrace me. That is why it's not easy. You see big men. I'm very sure that when you look at my brother, Gbenga Totoyi now, and you see his signature, it can be a very single. You can just put, GT, full stop. That's your signature. Kule. But some of us, you don't have anything in your bank account, and they say, "Sign." But the truth is this. You might even be able to forge, somebody like GT's, signature. But perhaps, maybe his ink is customized. So the pen that he uses to maybe sign check might be different. So the banker, they already know that this is the kind of pen that GT uses to sign his check. This is the kind of ink. So even if you go there with a forged, check, they will not honor it. Because that is another level, another dimension. So life is not easy for the people that are at the top. So that's why it's important. It's important. Maximize relationships. Nobody ever writes it on their forehead that this is what I'm going to become tomorrow. I remember in 2018, I didn't serve immediately, I left school. So in 2018, I completed my youth service. And fast forward to the next year. I think I completed it maybe 2018 November. And fast forward to the next year, August. That was when I was nominated as Honorable Commissioner at the age of 27, the youngest in the history of Nigeria. Now, there were some people in that same camp with me. I was the platoon leader of, of my platoon in camp. Then I was the president of the CDS, again. So I was quite popular. But still, there were people that were in my platoon that did not even see how important, to connect with me then. But immediately I was announced as commissioner. A lot of calls kept on coming in. Some familiar, some very unfamiliar. But the familiar ones will call me. I will pick. I say, hello, Seun. Hello, Fako. Congratulations. Oh, we just see him now. Baba, you be big boy now. I say, my guy, thank you. But there were some people in the same platoon that did not see the reason to connect with me then, that were calling the guys that they think, know me or are close enough to me to say that, I beg, if you give us Seun's contact, Now, when those ones call, I don't have their numbers. So they'll call me, hello, Seun. This is Bidemi. We're in the same platoon together. I'm the fear Bidemi. That my hair is always, you go, they explain tire. Because evidence no day. So that is why, look, before people blow, as it were, they are perhaps your neighbors. But your neighbor, when you say they greet, you just hear say he blow tomorrow. And the fact is that most of them, when they blow, they leave your neighborhood. So maximize relationships. I remember then, when I was appointed commissioner and all, a lot of people, that's another, story entirely. There are a lot of people, a lot of calls. But one thing I said to myself is, God, just give me the grace to be able to sustain all these relationships. I don't want a situation whereby the friends that I've had before office or before government will now, vanish just because of the fact that, I am now a public servant. No. And if there's anything that I'm grateful for, is the ability to be able to have been able to harness those relationships, to keep them, and then build more solid ones on that foundation. Today, I successfully finished serving as the Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Sports in May. This is what? This is October. And to the glory of God, the relevance, the recognition is still growing. The number of people that immediately they leave office, you hear nothing about them anymore. Because whatever they've been able to build over the time when they were in office was not sustainable. So in anything you do, sustainability is key. How do you sustain? How do you build that life? I'm out of government today. And I can tell you for free that I even earn more than I earned while I was in government. Let me tell you one original, do you get? Except if it's for charity. Or I just look that, these people cannot afford me. Let me just come and speak, for free. When I go to events, especially all those, high-level, events and all, I don't even charge in Naira. I don't even charge them in 6 figures. While I was in office, my salary was 6 figures. And then I will have to work my ass off for 1 month to get that 6 figures. But this, just 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes and 7 figures in Naira. But if I had not built myself, how would I have been able to sustain? I tell people that for people that are in government, whatever you see in government is just, sufficient, for you to just live a moderate life. If you see anybody in government and is living a very, very, very flamboyant lifestyle, look, Okowo Jenny, if he doesn't have it before. So that is why whatever we do, that consciousness of, look, there is nothing that lasts forever. You see positions that you see it, for those of us that are aspiring to be public servant, politicians and all, it doesn't last forever. Because if positions last forever, the person that was occupying it before you came would never have left. So you should always have it at the back of your mind that a day is coming that this thing will end. And that is how you can actually build a sustainable lifestyle. So what is that thing that you are doing? What is that business that you are doing? How sustainable is it? Now you come to conferences like this and all, and I'm very sure, I know that Olubori is not telling you guys to all be CEOs or to all be entrepreneurs. You don't have to all be CEOs. You don't have to all be entrepreneurs. Don't leave here and go and quit your job if you don't have a clear vision. Ebiapa. Look, Grow steady, slowly. Don't, jump. Just take your time. I was sharing at an event that I spoke some days ago. Like, everybody wants to be a CEO now. So that you quickly run, to your social media platform and go and add to that place. Omotara makeover. Just because you just successfully purchased a makeup artistry box in Ogunpa or Agbeni, then you are automatically, a CEO. And at the end of the day, Omotara makeover has no turnover. When you could have, gone to people like, Tara Feladrotoe to perhaps go and learn makeup artistry and production and maybe be one of our top, personnels, and you are earning in millions. At the end of every month, you can see the millions, flowing. But because of the fact that you are too self-conscious, you also want to carry the tag, Olubori is inviting me to an event as the CEO of. But CEO without any substance, without nothing to show for it. Not all of us will be number one. Some of us, your destiny might be to be assistants. And you'll be fulfilled living a life assisting people. Just imagine that, you are one of the directors in Amazon, in Google, in Microsoft. Do you know how much in millions of dollars that you are going to be earning? But because of the trend of tech bro, tech sis, you also want to go and start your tech hub or tech company. Until you are knocked out of the tech ecosystem. And then you have nothing to show for it. So guys, please, take it easy. Ambition is good, but let it be guided. There is nothing wrong working for people or working with people. There is nothing wrong. Don't quit that job if there is no proper clarity. People like GT today, they will tell you, look, they worked for people, with people, and they are still working, and they don't say, So, but you, immediately, I went for that conference, we all have to be CEOs. I read that book. Start afraid, do it afraid. I know it's shame. Because the person that wrote that book is not going to be there to witness, the torments and the hardship that you will face. Say, but I thought I started afraid. You start afraid and you now live in fear for the rest of your life. Lastly, tell your neighbor, say, think, Give time to the place of learning, to the place of growing, to the place of mentorship. Most of the time, anything that starts big from the beginning, a lot of them, they crash before you know it. And that's why I tell people that, look, in my life, if there's anything I want to pattern my life after, is to being a shining star, not a shooting star. A shooting star will come, boom! It's like, fireworks. Everybody sees it up there, pa, 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 pa. But the next minute, it's gone. But a shining star, it keeps rising. And the more it goes, the better the illumination, the better it shines. And it keeps going like that unto the perfect day. And that is why people will look at you and people will say to you that you never had a better yesterday. It's because you are a shining star and not a shooting star. Shooting stars don't have, their best is always in the past. Because their moment is only when they spark. Their moment is never before or after. The best of their moment is that time, that you all see it. And the next thing, they are gone. So take your time to build. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to make wealth. And that is why you people want to turn, you want to turn 10,000 to 10 million. How? Say, don't worry, in 6 hours, 10,000 to 10 million. And you now went to invest for your life savings. The person that told you that did not also tell you that it is an high risk and a volatile investment. They did not tell you. Then you put all your life, you've gone to sell your father's property. Say, Daddy, don't worry, just borrow me this, your sea of O. So guys, I said all this to say that money is good. And there is really not a thing that money will not solve. If there's a thing that money cannot solve, let me tell you what will solve it. More money will solve it. So when Solomon in the scripture says, money answereth all things, he was 100% right. As long as it's a thing that can be afforded, money will answer it. When you are talking about health is not a thing, no. That is why it might be impossible for money to answer it. But tell me, you want to have this kind of place anywhere else as long as you have money, you build this kind of structure, you have all this kind of, state-of-the-art, equipment there. Money, as long as you have money. But there are some things that you know that, look, it is just divine. And those ones, they are not things, as it were. So that is why money cannot, answer them. But as long as it's a commodity that is created or invented by man, money will answer it. So it's good to have money. Tell your neighbor, it's good to have money. Don't be part of the people that will say that, look at how much he spent on that wristwatch. Say, me, God forbid. No matter what amount I have in this life, I can never spend $1,000 on a Rolex. I know it's shaming. Look, except you are there. If Bill Gates comes and tells us that I can never spend $10,000 on a common wristwatch, we will believe, because it's not like he doesn't have it. So, but you have never even bought, a 1,500 naira wristwatch. Then you are telling us that we cannot believe you. Let the money come first. And sometimes don't use your mouth to speak against, your future. Because this life, there are vibrations. Vibrations, what you say is important. So when you keep speaking against the future that should be yours, it keeps, moving back until you get that reality that, okay, this is the kind of mentality I need to have. Then you start attracting it. But if you are going and moving with the wrong mentality, you keep repelling those things away from you. And that is why your perception, your thinking is important. And that's why motivational speakers will tell you that if you can think it, you can do it. Yes, sometimes, if you are thinking right. But hope I think right. I know it's shamey. So guys, please and please and please. This life, time, it's a seed. It's a seed. So if there's anything you do, just keep sowing that seed. Your time in people, it's a seed. Keep sowing that seed. Myself and, GT, to the glory of God, we've been, I've known GT for some years now. But tomorrow, if I hear that, GT is some presidents at the World Bank tomorrow, by me time now, All I just need to do is to send him. Look, I won't even use any. I won't send him a mail. Instagram, you know. I'll send him a DM. I said, that's how to build relationships. So you don't build relationships because you want to take advantage of those relationships. You build relationships because you want to give the advantage. That is why those your popular mentors and celebrities are running away from. They will never open your DM. Somebody that you've never met in your life, you're already telling him how, your sister is going to study masters in the UK and needs, $8,000 more to complete, Don't not finish a masters, ni? Don't abuse relationships. The reason why a number of those people that you are following, I say, sometimes when I tell people that send me a DM, they say, no, sir, please let me have your number. I say, send me a DM. It is easier to reach me on Instagram than to even reach me via phone. Because on Instagram is easy. You send me what you want to send to me. Timbati Shibai. Timbati Sembelele. This one has nothing to. I will close it back and move on. So you have not wasted my time. So approach people with that mindset of always giving the advantage. Oh, you heard that GT is going to be in town. Say, hello, sir. Please, I want to know. I saw your banner. I saw your flyer that you're coming to Ibadan. Please, sir, can I come and pick you with my car at the airport? He can drive in any SUV that he wants to drive in Ibadan today. He can afford it. But sometimes those little gestures, even if it's Micra that you are driving, just offer first. Even though he will not enter Micra with you. But just offer first. Then he will be like, thank you, brother. God bless you. Okay, you know what? You can bring your Micra, to the airport, but you will ride in my Prado. The reason why he will say that is because you have the heart already. So it's not so much about how much you have to give, but the heart. That is why, the story for those of us that are Christians here, you heard about the story of that, widow with that mite, just 2 mites. That 2 mites is greater than somebody else's 2 billion to God. So this one, everything she has was just that 2 mites, and she brought it to the feet of the master. Just 2. But somebody just brought out 2 billion out of the 250 billion he has. He cannot feel it. So there's nothing sacrificial about that. So there is always something. I know when I was, trying to connect with one of highly respected, individuals that I follow and I've been sending this man messages. He doesn't even open it. And one fateful day, he opened it. And I said, sir, we're having this conference, at Eko Hotel. We'd like you to be one of our speakers and all like that. And then he said, my brother. I'm like, brother, I'm not your brother, sir. I'm your son, sir. And then he said, I'm currently in Rwanda. From Rwanda, I'm going to Kenya. When I'm back in Nigeria, I'm going to call you. Please kindly drop your number. I'm like, this is one opportunity that I had to get connected with this man. He said I should drop my number. How will he remember to call me? And I can drop number. I will be the one trying to. He said, drop your number. And I was like, okay, well, this is what he wants. And I dropped my number. And exactly like maybe a week after, I just got, thank God for Truecaller. I just got that, phone call, and Truecaller popped up the name of the person. I said, yeah. I ran back upstairs because I needed to receive that call where it is seen, where there's no distraction. Because you now receive call and then go, well, you are receiving. I said, Seun, can I call you back? And we never call back. So you have to be wise. Wisdom is the understanding of this and the ability to anticipate consequences. So you have to anticipate. I ran upstairs, panting. I said, hello, sir. How you doing, sir? Blah, 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 blah. So Seun, this is, I said, I already know, sir. Okay, so Seun, what do you want? Those are definite. Look, you should not be stammering. You don't even know what you want. You just wanted to connect, just so that you can drop names. Guys, Don't ever look forward to being the one to drop names. Be the name that people drop. And I told him, sir, this is what I want. Sir, I also have a question before we go off this call. There's this particular book you wrote, the volume 1. You mentioned this. I was expecting that I would see the answer to that in volume 2. But unfortunately, it wasn't in volume 2. Maybe your mind skipped it. Sir, what is the answer? Look, somebody like that would be like, this guy. You want to follow somebody, he has written so many books, but you have not read one. You are very... You have not read one. Somebody has poured out his look so that, because he knows that he cannot be everywhere. He has written books. And you are running after him. Sir, you saw him, last year. Sir, I want you to mentor me. Sir, I sent you a message. You have not read it. 2 years after, you say, sir, I want you to... But he has read books and poured out his life in those books. You have not read one. How much is a copy of those books? That will save you the sweat. But some of us, the reason why we want to connect with influential people is so that we can drop names. Say, Benga Totoi. Let me call him now. You see, he will pick. Hello, sir. I was telling you something. I said, you will pick now. That is all. Don't do that. You maximize relationship so that you can actually, there's a lot to do than just, name dropping. So guys, I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I've been able to. Thank you, God bless you.